Hi, welcome to Rip Your Records. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new Gorillaz album, The Now Now. The Now Now is the latest record from the long-running virtual band Gorillaz. The Gorillaz are one of the most interesting and groundbreaking bands to come out of the last century. They started back in 2001 with their debut album, Gorillaz, and in 2005 they released not only their greatest album, but one of the greatest albums of all time, Demon Days. After their 2010 album Plastic Beach, Gorillaz took a long break until 2017's release Humans, which is hard to pin down as a Gorillaz album as it's mostly features. Personally, I'm a huge fan of it, but a lot of people weren't, and were missing that Gorillaz touch. It didn't feature a lot of Tootie's vocals, and it felt less like a Gorillaz album and more like a mixtape of a bunch of different artists. Needless to say, fans are ready for a new dose of Gorillaz. Did they get it with this album? Let's find out. The first single released also happens to be the first track on the album, Humility. It starts the album off on such a great note with its beachy tone and laid-back instrumentals. It's one of those songs you can play for hours and hours and just not get sick of. It just flows so well with Tootie's vocals, and it's such a nice change of pace from everything we got on Humans. The third track, Hollywood, is also another standout track to me, featuring Snoop Dogg and Jamie Principle. This is the only song on this album with features on it, which is crazy considering the last album was nothing but features. Snoop Dogg and Jamie accompany Tootie's vocals very well on this track, and they create a very different mood from the entire rest of the album, especially from Humility and Trans, the first two tracks. It retains the general vibe of the album being slow and melodic, but it has more of a party feel to it. It flows very well into Kansas, the fourth track, which is nice and relaxed, but not too slow that it loses you at any point. The song just made me realize how much I missed Tootie's vocals, and I'm so glad to have him back. Now, track 6 is one of my favorites, the very slow and beautiful Idaho. If you listen to Humans, this song is a lot like Busted and Blue, much in tone, feel, and actually the sound effects are very similar. Idaho just captures this grand beauty, both with the instrumental and with Tootie's vocals, that is found nowhere else on any other Gorillaz album, in my opinion. After Idaho is my personal least favorite track, Lake Zurich. I've never been a big fan of tracks that are purely instrumental, which this is. It's not bad, but it's just not great either. For those of you that like electronic music and party or dance music, this might be more your style, but just isn't for me. Fireflies is another standout track from this album, bringing out more of the real emotion that this album has delivered so far. As far as a single, I wasn't too sure about this track, but when you put it on the album, it flows much better, coming from the bouncy vibe of the first half of this album, then going into Idaho and slowing down until you get to Fireflies, and it works so much better, and it hits emotions so well. The last song I want to talk about is not only the best song off of this album, but one of my favorite songs in all of Gorillaz' discography since 2001. Souk is an emotional, musical, and vocal masterpiece of a song. The simple instrumental in the background allows the song to get across its message without ever slowing down and remaining very captivating to listen to. I can't get across how much I love this song. Just give it a listen. Same with this entire album. It's honestly beautiful. Overall, the Now Now is a very refreshing take on the Gorillaz formula. While I personally really liked Humans, as I said earlier, it just didn't stick with a lot of people, and I was sad to see the mixed reviews it got. But with this album, I feel like more of the traditional Gorillaz fans are getting what they want. While it doesn't have as many rock elements or as many hip-hop elements as the old stuff does, for those of you that like slowed down, melodic, dreamy music, this is honestly, amazing. It's not their best album, it's not their worst album, somewhere in the middle. I'm feeling a high 7 for this album. I'm very excited for the next Gorillaz release. Hopefully that's next year. If they take a little bit extra time to make something truly special, I wouldn't blame them, and I'm sure it'd be worth the wait. It's better than waiting 7 years like we did for the last one. This has been Rip Your Record. See you next time, guys.